We see our neighbors. They're always busy doing fun things, having parties or hauling their boat off to the lake. And we don't do those things, so we feel lonely. But are you really alone? You know, sometimes we're alone, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's important to our happiness. Being alone lets us process our feelings, plan things, and set our goals. It also gives us the space to use our imagination and create things, which is a big ingredient of happiness. But being lonely, yeah, that's not so good for our happiness. And you know, there's all kinds of lonely. For some people, it's a physical thing. They literally do not have friends or family that they can count on. They're truly alone. For others, loneliness is more emotional. They have people around them. Maybe they're even constantly surrounded by them, but they feel very lonely anyway. If that's you, then you understand. You feel like nobody understands you. Maybe you feel that none of them are people that you can really talk to, or that the world's changed so much you just can't relate anymore. Believe it or not, a lot of people struggle with this sense of being lonely. And most of those people feel like they're the only ones to feel that way. It's not true. A study by Cigna showed that 47% said that they felt left out and lonely. That is nearly half of all Americans. And it's felt by people of all ages. Although adults between the ages of 18 and 22, they were the loneliest age group. So what's that all about? A lot of researchers, they blame social media, though it certainly exists outside of Facebook or Instagram too. And it's the fact that we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people. Think about social media. We see the pretty pictures or videos posted by other people, and they seem to have such fabulous lives. And ours, well, it pales beside it. We start to feel like there's something wrong with us. We don't go to all those cool places they do. Our homes aren't as nice. We don't go to fancy restaurants with a bunch of friends, aren't as successful or happy as they are. We see our neighbors. They're always busy doing fun things, having parties or hauling their boat off to the lake. And we don't do those things, so we feel lonely. But are you really alone? Maybe it's just a matter of changing your perspective. There are certainly things you can do. First, you can try changing your negative thoughts to more positive thoughts. For instance, you probably have more positive relationships than you think you do. So think of 3 positive influences in your life. It probably isn't that hard. Or you probably have at least one person that you could really count on. Next is gratitude. Man, that is the happiness superpower. Being thankful and appreciative of the relationships you have in your life and of the things that you give each other, it'll suddenly make you feel a lot less lonely. Also, gratitude helps you recognize the good around you and inside of you. Gratitude, it creates a wave of positive changes in your life. And people who express gratitude feel a lot more connected to other people. Another important step to being less lonely is vulnerability. Sound scary? Yeah, it is a little, but it's worth it. Vulnerability is simply being truthful and open. You stop putting on a mask to hide behind, and you let people see your whole authentic self. In other words, you share your thoughts, emotions, and desires that you normally keep to yourself. Start with somebody you trust. It can be frightening, but it serves to remind you that if other people don't respond well to the real self that you're showing them, they're probably not worth your time to begin with. And of course, lastly, you can try and make more friends, though that can be easier said than done.
That's not what I meant when I said I wanted to be needed.
Because for adults, making friends isn't always as easy as it was in kindergarten. Our lives are so busy, but you can still do it. For instance, what's a passion of yours? Music, knitting, dining out, hiking, sports? Trying to enjoy those things in a larger social setting can help you meet that friend that has similar interests. You love to read? Join a book club. You could also call or send texts to the friends you already have and try and make more time to spend with them. And remember, try to give 100% to the relationships you have without expecting anything in return. You'll be surprised how quickly that they'll flourish. And you'll find yourself a lot less lonely and a lot happier. And as always, I hope you find you're happy.